Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me today. Now, I've got a little bit of an interview coming up for you guys. Earlier this week, I had the pleasure of getting to have a chat with Alice from Atwood, who are an Italian alternative pop band, English singing, of course. And they're just absolutely amazing. If you haven't heard them, here's a clip of their last two singles.
Wait for you to hunt me down. When I close my eyes, I know the sun has started shining bright. Dark shadows abide. Tell me where you are. I can't reach the stars. How do I get there? Somebody tell me you're a ghost I follow.
So guys, without any further ado, let's jump straight into the interview with Alice from Atwood. So guys, today I have got Alice here from Atwood. Thank you very much for joining us today, Alice.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, for those of you not aware of Atwood, I'll be very surprised. Certainly if you follow me on my socials, you will probably see that I'm always constantly sharing them. I'll be like going to work at like 5:30, 6 in the morning, and I'll just be like sharing the music, and then I'll get a comment off her later. She'll be like, "Oh, thank you so much."
Yeah.
But I just thought it'd be cool to do an interview with Alice today because very, very different from what you'd normally expect to see on the channel. And I personally didn't expect to enjoy the music as much as we did. So basically what happened, first off, I received a message from Alice when I was on hiatus, and she'd asked me to check out the band, and I was like, I'd love to, but I can't do a video, so I still did like a little preview clip. But yeah, and then I just fell in love with the music from there. But yeah, I just wanted for you to. There's certainly a lot of interesting questions I have, and I'm sure the people who are watching this probably want to know as well. Now, from what I can gather, I do think I've seen that you do like the heavier side of music, but what made you go? I mean, what made you not just become another Spirit Box or another metalcore band? What made you want to go down the more sort of alternative pop route with the band?
Well, this is always a difficult question because, yeah, as you said, we're both like your usual metalcore kids, so nothing new here. But we've both had experiences with metal bands and in the past or also currently. So we just decided to why not? I mean, instead of asking ourselves, why do this? We asked ourselves, why not try? Because we both had never tried making pop music. And we realized first that we like it, because otherwise we wouldn't be doing it. But that it's a lot more challenging than it seems, because you always think of pop music like easy, something, like easy music. And it is from the listener's perspective. But when it comes to writing pop music, it's a lot harder than it seems. Because obviously writing music in general is hard, but with pop music, you have to take into consideration the fact that it's intended to reach a lot of people. So you really have to not put aside what you like normally, what you listen to normally, but you have to take into account a lot of different genres, a lot of different elements that you probably will not take into account when writing metal music, probably because we are so used to writing and to listening to metal music that it comes so natural to us. It's not even a challenge anymore. I don't know how to explain it. Am I being clear? Because with every question you're gonna make, I'm gonna start talking, and at the end, I'm gonna ask you, did I answer to your question or did I not? Because
That's absolutely
okay.
spot on. It's quite an interesting one, that, really, because I think the general consensus I don't consider like what I consider like standard pop and the what you guys do. You've got that, like, for instance, in Ghost. So that was obviously that was the first one that I heard, and it's like it's not heavy, but it is because it has like that.
Yeah.
It's like that fuzziness, distortion. That's not like crushingly brutal, you know, like Slaughter to Prevail or something
Yeah.
like that. But it's got that nice alternative heaviness to it, and I think I like the fact as well that it's music that you could you know, send to a friend that's maybe not into, you know, the metal side of things, and they'd be like, oh whoa, and that's always been the thing with me. I've always said there's been quite a number of bands that's come around over the years, and I've been like, if like these sort of alternative pop bands were in the charts, this is like what should be huge. And I don't know. I always try my best to not sort of slate the people that listen to what I'd class as garbage.
Well,
but I
no, yeah, go on. Sorry.
But yeah, with the music that you do, I just find it quite intelligent as well. Certainly there's some little sections in your latest release, Out of the Blue, where for a while, like when I first filmed it, and I was like, am I like breathing deeply in something? Because I'm sure there's one or two little sections in it where there's like a little noise. It literally just sounds like for like a split second, and I don't even know what that is. And I didn't know whether that was something that was done purposely, accidentally. I mean, do you know the section that I'm talking about?
Actually, I don't. Uh, Show me. Please
Oh,
show me because
it's gonna
no,
be it's tricky to do it through here. What I will have to do
no, well,
after
you just show me afterwards. No worries.
I'll
Yeah,
go
no,
I'll go for it afterwards. Now, one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately from seeing, because you'll probably remember, I commented on one of your older videos. I can't remember the name of the song now, but it was a song that I loved. But it was the first time I'd seen the video, and I'd commented. I was like, oh my god, this is the first time I've seen the video. Now, in that one, I'm sure there was at least 3 people in the band. Now, in the last video, there was just yourself and. Is that someone in your family who was on the guitar? I can't. I'm not sure. Who's actually makes up the full band as a whole currently?
So currently the full band is just me and Daniele, the guitar player, who's not a family member. He's just like a friend. But actually, we just let me just share the story of how this band formed, because not that it's anything fancy, but like I had just moved to Milan. And I was looking for a band, basically, because I had abandoned music for a while because it was just tired of people in my hometown, basically. So yeah. And I was just looking for a band, and I was like browsing Facebook, and probably he had posted something like, "Hi, looking for a singer. We're a guitar player, bass player. We're looking for a singer and a drum." And I was like, "Hey, I'd like to sing," because the bands that he provided as reference were bands I like, your usual Bermuda Rise and Paris and stuff like that. So I was obviously interested because I wasn't going to have another band where I would sing Guano Waves and Rage Against the Machine. I mean, it's all stuff I love, but I'm not 15-year-old anymore. So yeah, and yeah, we started off. We rehearsed a couple of times, and we just clicked on a musical level. Like after a couple of sessions, we decided to begin writing our own stuff. Sorry, I can't talk today. We started writing our own stuff, and yeah, our EP came out in 2018. But yeah, it's just Daniela and I currently, mainly because we realized that the two of us together, we just write better instead. Like if we don't have any other input. I don't know how to say, but yeah.
I think it sounds like the two of you are sort of like, it just fits together so well, and then if you had to bring others into it, that's probably gonna, you know, you might write something and they might say, oh well, I don't particularly like that bit, and you might be like, well, go away then. Maybe. I don't know. It's certainly tough when you've got a number of different people in a band that have their different influences. They want to do different things. So clearly with the two of you, I mean, that the last song, Out of the Blue, like, it's just an absolute masterpiece, to be
Thank
perfectly
you.
honest with you.
Thank you.
Like, and the video was so cool as well. I'm still yet to watch the behind the scenes thing because I'm sure you will go into it in the video when you have like the sunglasses on and it's got that crazy like futuristic thing going on. It'll be interesting to see how that one was done. But I do know we originally I wanted to get this interview done yesterday, but we weren't able to schedule this yesterday because you've been a little bit busy working on something. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happening with that currently?
Okay. So yesterday we were busy recording the what's that? No, it's not the last song, but yeah, one of the last songs for our EP, and I'm super excited because if I think that if you liked Out of the Blue, you're gonna love this one even more. Like, we have another one ready that's completely ready. We're just waiting to have the final mix and mastering. Yeah. I'm so,
I was just instantly excited already.
I'm so, and I'm super excited about these two. Not that I don't like the previous ones, obviously, because every single song has such a huge meaning for us because every song is a journey of its own. But these two, we've worked on these a bit more closely. Like the other ones, we started writing us one song and then completed it, and then we moved on to the next one, and then we moved on to the next one. While these two, I mean, we kind of did the same thing because this one's now complete and we're working on the other. But being able to work on them in such a short time frame, it really was challenging because we were obliged not to fall. I don't know how to say it in English. I mean, if you work on two songs so close, you really need to focus on not repeating yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so that was a challenge. But we also realized that we finally found our own niche. Like we are obviously always prone to experimenting with sound, with like a genre. But I think we found our place, more or less. And we're really happy about that because, you can keep experimenting as much as you like, but you have to find something you find yourself comfortable in. And I think we got there, at least for this EP. So I'm excited to see how it turns out, basically.
I'll be excited to see how that turns out as well. You know for a fact the second that, well, I know you already said you were getting it sent over as soon as it's ready, and I'll just be straight on it.
Yeah.
I'll be straight on it and shouting above the rooftops. Even if anyone's like, "Oh, we want to see the heavier stuff today," I was like, "Well, you're not getting the heavier stuff today. Enjoy some Atwood."
No, our music is not heavy like sounding, but I think that the next single that's going to be really. We're masters of writing set songs, okay? And this one really, I don't know. I love all of our songs, I was saying before, but this one in particular, it has something that, even though we wrote it, I mean, I wrote the lyrics, I wrote the vocals, but every time I listen to it, I'm like, man, how did we manage to write this one? How? And so, yeah, I'm super excited.
I think the one thing that's really sort of is the right word, admirable about you is the fact of, I remember when we first had some conversations and I was saying about how much I just absolutely loved your voice, and I don't think certainly in those first few contacts we had with each other, don't think you actually realised like how good you actually are. You're not one of these singers that's like, yeah, I'm amazing, fuck you, But you were very sort of like, oh, I'm just happy that everyone likes it, but maybe I could have done better here and there.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? But that's a great thing to have because it shows that you always want to do better. I think as musicians, whatever we do, I think in the process of when because I've gone through the process of like doing an album, and then you get the finished product and you're like, right, yeah, that's brilliant, happy with all of that. But then once it's been out for a little bit, you might think back to a little section and be like, oh, I wish I'd have done this here, could have done that better there, could have done that. I don't think we're ever truly 100% happy. I
Yeah.
think we're always, it's all, I mean, obviously it's always about going, like, you know, you release something, it's like, right, the next one needs to be better and it needs to have
Yeah,
more of this
exactly.
and this.
Yeah, that's what we're
And
trying to do.
you I mean, you only need to go through just like listening to all of the music that you've done from like day one to like now. I've literally listened through everything, and it's just an incredible journey to listen through. But I don't think there's anything that sort of starts, because you know, like you're back in like the 90s, before, you know, it was before it was so easy for you know, bands to just record everything, like, you know, through the PC now, make it sound amazing. Back then you could tell, like, you know, this literally something's been recorded by like just putting a microphone in a room and everyone just like goes crazy. Whereas now it's so much higher. But like, I think when you go through all of your material, I don't think there's not really anything that's like, oh yeah, well, that's the older stuff and that's not so great, you know, but the newer stuff's really good. I think everything complements each other. And I really like that about you guys. And you never know what you're going to get, because obviously, as you said, you know, you like the option to be as experimental as possible. But the one thing I am intrigued by is where do you find is there a specific thing that you find the inspiration for writing your lyrics about? Is it like a sort of, would you say it's always like around a similar sort of topic, or is it lots of different things? I know different singers get their inspiration from different places.
Well, it depends. It depends. I'm I can't say that I'm not one of those like poets when it comes to writing lyrics. I think, I mean, I like my lyrics, but I realize they're the lyrics that a 27-year-old Italian girl could write. Like, I don't know how to say it. So yeah, I'm not your Brandon Boyd of Atwood. So yeah, but I always try to. It's all my own experience, obviously, which I try to rework it in such a way that it becomes accessible to everyone, mainly because everyone's experiences are different. And I don't want to I don't want to be the kind of singer who writes those cryptic lyrics that only they can understand, because otherwise your meaning loses its own meaning if you're the only one getting it. So it's my own experience, yeah, but I try to to make it accessible. And I've tried to vary my topics, but I realized that I always end up saying not the same things, because I don't, but there's a range of topics that I like to cover, that when if I write instinctively, okay,
Yeah.
I just end up writing those kind of things, and I simply realize that I need to accept it. I obviously want to try and space out a bit. I want to get out of my own comfort zone, because you cannot write 10 albums on the same thing. I mean, you can if you're Tolkien, if you're some sort of genius, but like, so yeah, mainly, for example, if you take our first EP at Odds, I was very much focused on gaining my freedom back, because some of my past experiences, I felt like jeopardized my own freedom a bit, my own freedom to do things, but also my freedom as when it comes to thinking. I feel like I was a bit caged in my own thinking, and I just wanted to get rid of others people's reflection of their idea of me. Like, I realized that I wasn't being my true self, because I was focusing on what they were expecting of me. basically,
Yeah.
which I know sounds very cliche and very mainstream, but
No, no, I completely get that.
I
Completely
think
get
that
that.
it's something that everyone has experienced in their lives. So one way or another, everyone ends up feeling these kind of things. And so yeah, it's just a matter of trying to write these kind of things down in a way that's interesting, that's new, that's personal mainly. And for example, then with Ghost, I decided to get a lot more personal because yeah, earlier those kind of things are personal, obviously, but I was not telling anything. Oh, sorry. I was not, it was bothering me so much. I wasn't telling anything overly specific. Whereas with Ghost, I forced myself to do it, and so I decided to tell how it feels when you lose someone you you love, particularly. I'm not. I don't want to like tell who it is, what
Mm.
happened, or whatever, because that's not the main point. It's just
Yeah.
that whenever I like to focus on the smaller side of things. For example, you lose someone you love. I didn't want to focus on like the pain of the loss, but more on the frustration that comes from realizing that you cannot get to them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for example, Out of the Blue, the same thing. Even though it's a more positive song, because I decided not to have another sad one. This was mainly inspired by the COVID situation, which I know again
Mm.
sounds very mainstream, but instead of focusing on, oh, I miss my family so much, I miss my friends so much, which I mean, everyone was feeling that, I wanted to focus on like the feeling of being stuck in a bubble where time does not pass because you're super excited, you're super thrilled to like you're looking forward to the moment when you're going to be able to meet them and to meet them again. And so you're like in that kind of electric state of mind when you're, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, you're just a bit disconnected because you're so looking forward to something else that you're not focused
Mm.
on what's on the here and now, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I like to do is take something mainstream and find a way to tell something else. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, no, it does. It does make sense.
Okay.
I do understand the point that you're
Okay.
making with that. I do like though with like where you said there about you wanted to try and like not write like another sad song, but if there's other, I'm sure there's other people must feel this. I've always said this for years that I seem to like when I'm in a really great mood, I'll put songs on that are sad and they make me feel more happy. Like it's strange. But then again, when I'm sad, I listen to those same songs and it just makes me feel like I want to kill myself. But I'm still here, obviously, so that's never happened. Um, there's been no suicide attempts, so don't worry.
Okay, great.
just just to
Happy to
just
hear
to be
that.
clear. Yeah, I've always liked. I don't know what it is. I know some people will be like, they always like to listen to upbeat things, but I think with me, it's generally angry and sad songs and the occasional happy song. But another thing that I have wondered for a while, I thought, you know what, I should just research into this, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to ask you straight out.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name Atwood, and is there some sort of special meaning behind it?
We should have Daniele to tell this because it was his idea. So, which I mean, I just supported it because I liked it. But um, sorry, it makes me want to laugh because every time we get asked about our name, most people think of like they're trying to get the hidden meaning behind this name when it's literally just because it sounds nice. And so we stole it from Ryan Atwood of the OC.
No way! Oh my word!
End
Oh
of
man,
story. Yeah.
I can't believe. You know what? I can't believe I never even thought of
Yeah.
that. Like I remember years ago, I used to have like binge sessions, like all Sunday, just watching it. Like that's insane. Like
I've never
love.
even watched the OC, by the way. I just know who the guy is.
Oh, you'd
Yeah.
probably fall in love with him. Every girl that watches the OC
Uh,
generally does.
I'm assuming he's like the kind of bad boy with a bit of issues, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Classic.
No, that's quite interesting. That because I mean, to me, before I knew anything about the where the meaning where that name meaning comes from, which is quite funny now. When I see the name though, it'll always be the same to me because from when I heard the music, and then obviously I already knew what the name of the band was before I'd heard the music, but then once I'd heard it, I think it kind of fit it because to me, I see the name Atwood, and if somebody said to me, what sort of music do you think this band would play, it just sounds to me like something you can imagine that's kind of haunting and creepy that you'd hear in like if you're like going through a forest late at night or something. And I think that fits you guys perfectly because you've got so many different vibes in the music and it's really refreshing as well because there's so many there's so many. I mean, I could open up my emails and it'll be like, "Hey, we're a metalcore band. We're a metalcore band. We're a deathcore band. We're a hardcore band." Don't get me wrong. I love all of that, but I'm sure yourself, you've probably seen when something new drops from some new banding and like, yeah, it just sounds like another metalcore song that I've probably heard like a million times.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you're able to do something that doesn't have to be heavy. I mean, people would probably normally think, oh, an alternative pop band, right? Okay, well, they're probably going to drop a like, yeah, or something. That's one question I have actually. Can you actually do heavy vocals? Is that something we would ever expect? Don't worry, it's that I certainly wouldn't be disappointed if you never did.
No, I don't. I'd love to. I I'd really like to get some sort of lessons to be able to do it properly. The only
Mm.
thing I can do is like includes a bit of distortion. So I think that I probably get how it's done, but I've never tried doing it harsher, even though I'd love to because I've always wanted to, but I never got around to doing it basically.
Mm.
Because I'd love to have like a spirit box ish band. That would be one of my many dreams would be there. But yeah,
Yeah,
I've never tried.
I have, and then I couldn't talk properly for about a week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I want to avoid because otherwise, no.
Yeah,
But
that didn't go well. Didn't go well whatsoever. No, it was just something I was intrigued by because I know it's not something that you really do. I thought, I wonder if you can do it or if it's just something that's not included, which is absolutely fine because it's you again it's something that I don't feel is necessarily needed in the music that you do. I think the main focus point of it is how just beautifully sang and it's you do truly have like some sort of, and I've said this in videos before, like it's just like some sort of angelic tone. I like hear that voice, and it's just like, oh,
oh, thanks. I'm so
no, you're
happy to hear
welcome.
that because I, I know again I'm gonna sound cliche, but I'm your typical singer who was always like, why? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? Why do people even listen to what I do? Because
Mm.
I'm never happy about with the outcome of what we do. So yeah, I'm glad someone else appreciates it at least.
Oh yeah, there's. I mean, just all of the reaction videos that have been coming out, for Ghost and Out of the Blue. They've been. It's been really cool to see other people's thoughts on it. I've not seen anyone. I mean, granted, I've probably only watched about maybe three or four of them, but I've not seen anyone yet that's not liked it. I'd
Yeah,
probably, but
that's true. That's true, and it's so surprising to be honest. I mean, obviously we like the music we do, otherwise we wouldn't be putting it out. But it's really nice to see, like we were saying before, it's really nice to see people from different backgrounds appreciating our music anyways, like the metalhead, the one maybe the guy who listens to more hip hop music, the other one who listens to, I don't even know, country music. also many of our friends who listen to metal, others who only listen to pop. My mom, for example, listen to not reggaeton. How do you call it? Like Latin American music, like the one that you dance.
Oh, you mean
How do you call it? Because I'm just
salsa?
yeah, the kind of thing. I was only translating from Italian and that wasn't working. But yeah, like those kind of things. And she likes us anyways. So I think that it shows that we managed to get on a path that is more or less universally liked. I don't know how to
Yeah.
say. I'm not trying to say that everybody loves us, obviously, because it's not. I'm assuming it's not true, but I think what's helping is that we we are obviously trying to make pop music, but our metal upbringing somehow always comes through
Mm.
in maybe in the small things, maybe the snare sound, maybe that small section, maybe the sound choice for I don't know, you choose. But there are maybe those small things that if you don't listen to metal, you won't notice. If you know the genre, you'll say, I think those two, um,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's true.
You could. I could just tell from. I remember seeing Ghost for the first time, and I was just like, yeah, she's definitely into a metal. You can just tell from your look. But it doesn't always necessarily mean. I mean, look at how Bring Me the Horizon have changed,
Yeah,
like throughout the years. Like when they were like really like insane deathcore years ago, you never presumed that they'd have released the really really softer stuff that they did. And loads of people hated it, but that's because of you're always going to have the elitists. And I've even said myself, I loved the last album they did. Wasn't very keen on the one before it, but I think that's because they kind of pigeonholed themselves. Whereas you've not done that. Although you've got like that nice level. Is the word level par? I don't know. Just the way that you guys have done it, you can pretty much go anywhere with it. Where if it went even softer than it already is, that'd be fine. If it went slightly heavier, that'd be fine. I doubt you're very much going to do deathcore, so that
no,
that doesn't really matter. But no, I think you've got it's great when you can appeal to so many people because with a lot of bands now it's going to be like, right, well, we're going to do this. Some people are going to hate it, some people are going to love it, but you've just got that really nice level that it can appeal to so many people. But I mean, how's it been like for you guys? Because obviously I know what it's like here in the UK with the way that it is with the whole COVID situation. How's that affected yourselves over there? Have you been able to still rehearse as you would normally? Have you done any shows yet? Because that's one thing I didn't know.
well, obviously the COVID situation did not help. Yeah, for example, Out of the Blue was completely written during the first lockdown. We because we used to meet every Sunday, like 6 to 8 hours each time, because we do these kind of crazy sessions. We just dive in, and and when we close, it's like, okay, we have a new song. So yeah, but obviously COVID did not help, and yeah, as I was saying, Out of the Blue, we just wrote basically on Skype. So we logged in at 2 p.m. and logged off at 9 p.m. Um, Obviously, we were not able to rehearse as much as we would have wanted to because everything's closed, and also moving from one town to the other gets risky. So
Mm.
so yeah, it's a bit of a mess. We managed to play one show incredibly in September, and it was like having a nice glass of water in the middle of the desert.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, because obviously we hadn't had any shows because I don't think we've had any shows in before the first lockdown in 2020. So I think that like we had our last show in December 2019 or something like that. So it was really insane. It was really insane for us because in 2019 we had like 40, we had like, yeah, something like 40 live shows. throughout the year. So, I mean, which is not that much, but it was a lot for us because we were new, a completely new band in 2019. Like we just released our EP in 2018, and so we just started playing, and we were we were we had got used to playing a lot live, and not being able to do it anymore was it's been really hard. And so playing in September was so cool because there were a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, as many people as COVID will allow to. But it was just incredible to be able to set foot on stage again. And it was in a place that we really really love. It's a venue that we really care about. Not, I mean, we care about every venue in the local scene, but that one really holds. We, it really has a special place for us. And then I think we managed to get another one like in October or in November. Oh, I think it was October. Yeah, this one was a smaller show. We had to play. We could play like 3 songs only, a couple of or 3 songs I can remember. But it was amazing, anyways. Like it's you don't understand how live music, how crucial live music is until you cannot play anymore. Because
Yeah.
play, I mean, the being all thrilled because you're about to get on stage, then you get off, and then you get to see other bands playing, and maybe they're playing completely different genres. So you get to listen. I mean, to yourself. Then you have your thrash metal band. Then you have your classic rock band. And I mean, I don't like thrash metal at all. Okay, but every single genre in the world, when played well live, is so cool. And so yeah, so cool. And now we don't know when we will be able to play again. So it sucks.
It's hard. It is.
It
It is
sucks.
hard. Even just like as a fan, you know.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember who it was. I was talking to the other day. Just well, obviously through Messenger. The only way I can see people is if they come in and see me at work. That's literally the only way I can see people.
Yeah.
But I remember me and my friend were just like, we're like, dude, we just need to go to a show and just like go nuts. And I was like, it needs to happen. But I don't certainly here. I don't think we're gonna get. We'll be lucky if we get anything next year, but you know we can only keep our fingers crossed at the minute. I mean,
Yeah.
I still think it's amazing that so many bands have still, even throughout all of this, they've still got the motivation to put out the music, to be able to do the videos, like regardless whether it's just been like a sort of DIY music video made at
Hmm.
home, or if they've actually been able to go out and do like a full production music video. I think at the minute anyone appreciates anything whatsoever. And I mean, it's also a great time, I think, for bands to actually, if they're not already, so clued up on the social media, this is the time for them to be doing it, because
Yeah.
this. God knows how many people in the world they'll either be unemployed or unable to work right now. So they're all either attached to the phones or on YouTube or anything. So now's the time to just absolutely hammer it. It really, really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. That's what we did. In fact, like, um, obviously, as I was saying, COVID did not help, like for live music and stuff. But we we decided not to have it stop us. I mean, we're super determined. Like, I'm not trying to brag about us as a band, but if you were to find a really determined band, we are. Like, we're never stopping. We're always working hard every single day. We're planning, creating, thinking about what we're gonna do next. So, and we realized that this lockdown, as hard as it can be for live music, it can be a great chance to grow social media, to grow a following, to create new stuff, or maybe simply to take care of smaller, maybe admin tasks that you would just leave behind during a normal time because you would be busy traveling and playing. And I mean, you leave at 2 p.m., you get home at 4 o'clock in the morning because you had to go play, I don't know, God knows where. So if you're not able to do that, you can at least spend the time doing something that is equally as useful as playing live. Because obviously, for smaller bands like us, live shows can grow you a real fan base, but social media can as well. And I think that way too many bands underestimate the power of social media. They just don't understand that they're crucial. I mean, if someone sees you live and says, "Oh, this band is cool," opens Facebook and cannot find you, opens Instagram and your feed sucks, why would they ever want to hit like? They're just gonna forget about you. Instead, if they open Instagram and find the feed that's nice, polished, well thought of, like that you can see that the band actually put some effort into what they're doing. I mean, you have to think we live in an age where everything goes on social media. So why why yeah, why not focusing on that as well? So yeah, COVID was, we had the chance to improve that as well. So yeah, we obviously cannot wait to play live again, but at least we focused on something else. We did not let everything go.
I think it's one of those things as well where, although it's been a negative that's been on everyone's mind, what's been going on, a lot of people like yourselves have created that into a positive. They've made some amazing music out of it. It's going to be interesting when it starts to, when we start to come out of it. But then all the music that's coming out like around the last year or so, it'll be sort of like, it's kind of like, it'll be like a sort of music time capsule, because like in 10 years time from now, you listen back to those songs, you're like, oh wow, that was when the world literally shut down for
Yeah.
however long. So but it's going to be interesting to see what then comes out off the top of that, because I think there's going to be there'll be a lot of I mean, I always see positivity in most music anyway, but I think there'll be even more positive things, certainly within lyrics, especially coming out in the songs, and it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. But obviously, we know, hopefully, we can start to see you guys be able to sort of get back on track with performing. I know you might not be able to perform, but you're still pushing forward and doing everything you can. I mean, just sat here alone, just looking at your Spotify here. I mean, let's have a look. I mean, the least amount I can see on a song that's been listened to, certainly in the top 9, there is like what, just under 4,500. I mean, what does it feel like to, you look through these numbers, you've got like, it's 120,000 listens. What else have we got? I'm just literally expanding it so we can see it all. Empty room, 4,385. You must. I mean, try to put myself in your position. You must see that and just be like so proud.
I am. I mean, we are
Yeah.
proud, but yeah, we're proud, obviously, because we want our music to get as far as it possibly can, because we are obviously proud of the music we make. But we're also proud of the journey we're making, because I mean, we put a lot of effort into this band, and I think it shows. And again, it's not that I'm bragging, because I mean, I know that a lot of bands work as hard as hard as we do, but yeah, it's just good to see some recognition for all the energy we put into this. Basically.
Yes, you absolutely deserve it, and I know it's a bit of a thing to say, don't. I don't want to say that we're bragging, but you have to. Although I know for a fact that, like, no one wants to be like, I'm better than everyone else or anything like that. In a musician's mind, when you're on that stage or when you're in that studio doing that, you need to have that. You need to have that in your mind. Nobody goes in to think, oh well, that other band are way better, but I'll just do the best I can. You go in there and you're like, right, I'm gonna make this amazing.
Oh yeah,
Let's show everyone what we do.
Yeah,
so
that's for sure.
And that's not being like, really like, up yourself or anything like that. It's just you have to believe in what you do and put everything
Oh
into
yeah.
it. And you guys definitely do that, and I can't wait to hear the next release from you. But it's been really cool to do this interview with you today and find out more about the band. I hope everyone else that's watching has enjoyed that. And I mean, all you literally need to do, guys, if you're watching this, you want to find out more on Atwood, just literally search Atwood. You'll find all the socials, but I will be sure to put that down in the description below.
Thank you. Go listen to Out of the Blue because you're gonna like it. Hopefully.
They will. If they don't, I'll go and knock on the door and I'll get them told. But thanks for joining us today, Alice.
Thank you for having me. It was super nice to chat with you.